tonight. Here we are together. This is Eugene. This is us working together. This is great. Thank you for being here. And I am so honored to have someone like Paul Holby, Representative Holby, make those comments. I love working with him and anything that we can do at the local level to support what needs to happen at the state level. And then, frankly, Eugene has a big role for what we do at the national level as well. So, we're calling this, I want to get this, okay. Tell me if you can't hear me. I'm going to talk as loud as I can here. Okay, we are calling this the campaign kickoff, but most of you know this campaign has been kicked off for quite a long time. Tonight we are here to officially kick it up a notch to 10. We are on the high-speed track to victory on May 20th. I am not going to give a State of the City type speech tonight. I'm going to give you a straight skinny about why it has been important for us to have won this mayor's seat and why it's important that we keep it. This is not about me. This is about us and our city and our future. This is about this special place we call Eugene and the role it should have in the world. Let me tell you that it has been fun and it's been a ton of work. I've had to be smart, strategic, and tough to achieve the goals and to uphold the values we share. If you can recall, I was hardly in the door of City Hall before the LTD strike was underway. It was clear to me that there were many vulnerable people who could not do without bus transportation to get to the grocery, to the doctor, and to work. Now, getting involved in the labor dispute of another agency is a fancy thing to do, and one I did not undertake lightly, but the stakes were high for the most vulnerable. I brought some very talented community leaders together to work with both sides, and luckily we were able to resolve it to the benefit of LTD, the employees, and the people of this community, and that's what counts. Bringing people together to solve problems has been a hallmark of my tenure as mayor. There were also a lot of issues that needed to be cleaned up when I took office. That's why you see this mop in my hand. One of the biggest that remained unresolved was the need to rebuild our community's trust and faith in our police that had been left in shreds after the Laura Magana cases and some other highly publicized incidents. I know that these two were the exception and that the vast majority of our officers serve our community with honor. Through bringing community leaders into the discussion, we were successful in gaining council approval to put a charter change before the voters to establish the Independent Police Auditor and the Civilian Review Board. With strong voter approval, the office is open and the auditor and the Civilian Review Board are doing their job. Now, there's been some controversy, but I am confident that over time, both the public and the police will benefit from the auditor's work. Okay? Another issue of monumental proportions was the West Eugene Parkway. For 20 years, the debate had raged, and still federal approval had not been given, nor the promised money materialized. Of more importance was the parkway's path was to be right through our nationally recognized wetlands and would seriously endanger the already endangered lupin and butterfly. I had promised to end the acrimony and to look for solutions that would have broader support and protect the wetlands. There were threats, fingers poked in my chest, telling this little lady she would not prevail. I had to take on some big agencies and some pretty wealthy people. Today, the archaic wet plan is gone. The right-of-ways are being sold, and community leaders from across the political spectrum are really working together to solve those traffic and transportation problems. It's called the West Eugene Collaborative, and they are doing some great work. The irony is, the old West would have reduced traffic congestion by less than 10% for all those millions of dollars. And it would have stopped short of Fern Ridge, where some of the real difficult transportation issues exist. When it comes to transportation and land use planning, things are changing rapidly. Oregon Department of Transportation has seen a dramatic reduction in state gas tax returns. People are driving less and using hybrid vehicles. The lack of resources is creating an opportunity for new conversations, one that ODOT would have been less open to in the past, something like less pavement and more creativity. There is a growing concern that all United States city roads are in need of maintenance and preservation. Just last week, a major national transportation report was released calling from a shift to taking care of infrastructure like fixing potholes over laying down more pavement, and for an investment in alternative transportation at a much faster and increased level. Our EMX is a national model for alternative transportation for cities of our size. We need to wrap it up faster and get the system put together. And speaking of urban planning, there's been a lot of raving that we need to expand our UGB fast or we are all doomed to disaster. However, just recently, the home builders were quoted in the business section of the Register Guard saying, the reason Oregon and Eugene have not suffered the economic losses of other states is because of our land use planning and our UGBs, which kept us from overbuilding like the rest of the country. The irony of it all. I have called for comprehensive planning for our area in light of all the changing conditions we're experiencing. There are other tough problems that were left waiting on the doorstep of City Hall in 2004. Closed stores on West Broadway, our local hospital moved out of Eugene, and poor road conditions. We've been working hard on them and making progress. We are working with Beam on renovation plans for 2 downtown buildings, and an RFP is out for the lot across from the library. We are working to bring McKenzie-Willamette Hospital to Eugene, and we have filled in $17 million worth of potholes. Contrary to what you hear, the City Council does have a plan for increasing our ability to fill more. When I came into this office, the environment and business were often seen as mortal enemies. The city was full of dour talk and about our bad business atmosphere, our problematic activists. The city had a seriously bad attitude. The university and the city ran parallel lives, and our students were treated like a problem. I listened to you and identified the issue of sustainability as a place we could all come together. We all want to keep this beautiful place and to have our people prosper. So with the help of the university and the participation of community leaders and over 700 of our citizens, we put forward the Sustainable Business Initiative. Hey, why wouldn't we want to try to encourage the kind of business and the kind of economy we want? Why wouldn't we try to capture the opportunities before us in responding to the challenges of climate change and finite resources? Okay, guys, now fast forward 3 years. The city now has an office of sustainability and a sustainability commission. The city has measured its carbon footprint and is working on a whole number of strategies to reduce the footprint and save money, including green building policies and local purchasing. The Chamber of Commerce has adopted sustainability goals. Sequential biofuels has the first station here. That's no accident. The 2 largest solar arrays in the state of Oregon are here, and the industry is growing. A green home and garden show is now a yearly hit at the fairgrounds. A new Napa Foods business park is in the making. We are national leaders and have been named America's #1 green city by National Geographic's Green Guide. And were just recently named the #5 green city in the country by Popular Science. We've signed on to the U.S. Mayor's Climate Protection Agreement, and frankly, we've been part of influencing congressional policy changes. The U of O and LCC are sustainability leaders in the nation, and EMX has won international recognition. And this is good for business. Just last week, Forbes chose us as number 36 out of the top 200 best cities to do business in. We are on a roll, and we need to keep going. Now, frankly, folks, I take some heat for working on my feel-good issues. You know those little, tiny, feel-good issues like human and civil rights, the end of the war, having a community that's welcoming to everyone. In this morning's paper, you saw a nasty little letter that referred to my penchant for low-rent young poets. I intend to continue to work hard on these feel-good issues. I am the only candidate endorsed by environmental, human rights, and labor organizations. This is a work we do together. Opponents plan to spend a lot to defeat me, and I would not be surprised if there will be an independent expenditure campaign against me as well. I am told by my primary opponent to expect personal and hurtful things to occur. I don't take winning for granted, but this I do know. I know that there's more we need to do. We have to keep working on that smart, forward-thinking economic future, which finds the opportunities and the challenges we face in climate change and finite resources. We are on the right path. This is a great community, and I work every day to keep it that way. The economy is tough, but we are better positioned than many. Keeping our eyes on the future with real solutions that meet today's challenges will serve us best. The world is changing rapidly, and we need to be ready and help lead the state and the country so that our children and their children will be able to live in this place and enjoy the same unique beauty that is Eugene. That's why I'm running again. That's why I'm asking you to help me as we continue to do this important work together. 4 more years. Thank you.